with tonight's top story.
It's a controversial subject, but one that is getting a lot of attention.
The school voucher system, will it work and will it help our schools? That is our top story. Thursday, February 4th, 1999. Good evening, everyone. I'm Kim Covarrubias.
And I'm Don Hudson. We'll get to our top story in 30 seconds. But first, let's check in with meteorologist Dale Nelson for our first weather. Dale.
Well, if you were out and about today, you know, big-time fog last night, this morning, lingering along the coast this evening, but not as bad overnight. That's the message from the Weather Center because higher winds and higher temperatures. We're still going to have visibilities reduced to a half mile to 5 miles in the area overnight, and tomorrow morning it'll be worse inland than it will be here in the city, and definitely better in the city tomorrow than it was today. What about this frontal system out to the west? In a few minutes we'll tell you if it's going to rain again or not and tell you all about it.
All right, Dale.
Okay, Dale. Corpus Christi plays host tonight to former Education Secretary, who's also an accomplished author, William J. Bennett, who served on President Reagan's cabinet, took time tonight to speak out about an education issue now in the Texas legislature. He says he supports the use of school voucher plans, saying it would revolutionize the country's education system.
It equalizes in that it gives every parent a chance to send his child or her child to a good school. Right now, where you go to school is determined by where you live. You know, you live over here, you go to the school. It may be good, it may not.
Now, Dr. Bennett says that vouchers would give low-income families the same choice of schools that other parents have. While school vouchers have the support of one national advocate, it is an issue that some local parents are split on. Reporter Jose Gonzalez talked with some parents today about private and public education. He joins us live from the Channel 6 newsroom with more. Jose?
Kim, many parents aren't really sure how vouchers will help their children's education, but some say they'd like to have that choice. State tax money to fund private school vouchers is a topic that has parents unsure of the advantages the new system would offer.
I think there are still a lot of questions that need to be answered about it, and as a private school parent, probably the biggest one would be whether we would lose any autonomy or control.
The voucher system would give parents a choice to send their children to private or public schools.
But if I had the money, it'd be different, you know, to send them somewhere else.
Where maybe you might get a better education for them?
Yes, where they could learn more.
Parents like Wayne Harris opposes the voucher system. He thinks it would cause problems.
You'll have some schools that are closing down, other schools that are getting overflowed, wanting to enlarge, so there's a lot of problems.
The Texas legislature will decide the fate of state-funded vouchers during the session. Back to you, Kim.
Well, Jose, opponents do say that the vouchers will take money away from public school districts.
At a state conference, members of the Texas League of United Latin American Citizens, or LULAC, voted to oppose private school vouchers. Then this week, 3 LULAC officers changed their mind and are now lobbying for the voucher system. However, local LULAC member Ruben Bonilla thinks that's a bad idea.
Well, I think the voucher system has proven to be ineffective in the past, in that it's a genuine diversion of tax funds for private school education.
LULAC's president said allowed to take a public position contrary to LULAC's policy.
FBI investigation or not, the city says it still needs to find the best medical insurance for its thousands of employees. The city council says it can't wait any longer. It has an obligation to get a medical plan for city workers. City council member Arnold Gonzalez says the staff will hopefully come up with something at the next council meeting next Tuesday. There's a February 28th deadline.
Whenever the FBI investigates a case, it's a serious matter, and it should be investigated. But I hope we don't lose sight of the real issue is making sure we have our employees covered.
Council members were opposed to cast a final vote last week on an insurance plan.
Well, police are still looking for thieves that broke into a West Side RV center sometime last night. The thieves ripped out televisions and VCRs from at least 6 RV units and apparently left others behind that were too difficult to pry out. But police crime scene technicians tell us they may have also left behind some fingerprints. Either way, the manager of the lot says he's now thinking of putting up a razor wire fence to keep those from getting in.
We're looking at that. It's going to take something, I guess, because it seems to be a more common thing lately than what it should have been in the years past.
By the way, the RV sales lot has been burglarized now several times over the past couple of years. Well, despite this, crime has gone down 24% in our city since last year. However, there are still many trouble spots in Corpus Christi. And while there are the usual high crime areas, there are a number of other spots that may actually surprise you. Eddie Flores reports in part 1 of his special report, If You Think It's Safe Out There, Think Again.
These are the innocent sights and sounds of our city parks during the day, but many times all this changes when the sun goes down.
When darkness falls, you know, things change, and it's an entirely different world.
Cole Park, for instance, once it gets dark, trouble sometimes follows.
We were particularly concerned about the kids' plays in the area because ever so often there are some undesirables that hang around those areas, especially around the evening hours.
Undesirables that could be dangerous for kids, and sometimes it is the kids that are up to no good.
At times it's a haven for young folks to gather and consume alcoholic beverages, and we've made arrests there before.
But it's not just Cole Park, it's all over. Hans Suter Park, for example, has its own problems with open sex in public after dark.
Disgusting.
What's disgusting?
When you pull up and there's gays in the next to you, like, I don't know, doing their thing.
We have made some arrests, some public lewdness arrests there involving homosexual activity.
Much of the same behavior occurs at Bill Witt Park. These empty hangars are also a haven for illegal drug and alcohol use. And while the ducks are the big attraction at Lakeview Park during the day, other things are attracted to the park at night.
The places that are isolated, that are dark, and that kind of stuff. And what we're trying to do here is try to fix that.
But to fix these neighborhood problems, police need the help of ordinary people. In part 2 of our special report, we'll show you how residents band together with police to take back their neighborhood. I'm Eddie Flores for 6 News.
And by the way, if you want to get the ball rolling on that, all you have to do is pick up the phone and contact the police chief. He says if you think you have a problem in your neighborhood with crime, give him a call and he'll set up a meeting with you.
Now, students and teachers at Flower Bluff High School get a longer than usual break this morning. It all happened after a gas leak at the school. Construction crews digging a new foundation on school grounds hit a gas line. They ruptured it. More than 1,400 students and teachers were evacuated just as a precaution. It took the gas company crews about half an hour to shut off the leak. No one was injured.
Friends and family gathered today in Houston to say their final goodbye.